Good afternoon on this beautiful first day of November. I want to thank you for joining me, and I want to show you the process that I'm doing to start preparations for my new journal. I am making 3 smaller size journal. They're 5.5 by 8. There will be 56 pages, 58 pages. I'm not sure. A little over between 50 and 60 pages. 1 signature, and they are Christmas themed. So to make my tags for this journal, I have decided I wanted to make some master boards. I am going to show you the process of that, and then I will also show you what I have done so far as preparations for the journal. So here is one master board started. What I'm doing is I'm taking a piece of packaging and I'll rip that to whatever length, it doesn't even matter. And it doesn't even matter if it's even. And then I'm going to crumple it. After I've crumpled it, I'll smooth it out. I have all of these papers, scraps, in piles according to their colors around my area here that I can choose from as far as what I want to put in here. I am applying it with soft, golden soft gel matte medium and my acrylic brush. So I will take my brush, just add a little bit of the matte medium anywhere, doesn't even matter. I tend to start up in the right hand corner and just put them wherever. You can start at this side and work to that side, or start here, put here, here, here. I know some that do 1, 2, and 3 and come together in the middle, and it's whatever preference that you have, that you want to use for a technique to layer in your papers on your base. And my base, like I said, is this paper here. Now, I will be making tags out of this, so the back of my tags will be this. If I don't want it to be this color, I will gesso over it. So I will just continue on here for a little while and let you watch my process. So enjoy. there we have the base to our masterboard. So I need to make probably 2 or 3 more of these. I'm not so sure that one will cover a journal, and I'm making 3. So I am going to keep to work on this, and then I'll be back. All right, I have that done, and I'm left with just a small stack of some scraps that I'll use in the journal. And I have 2 8.5 by 11. And then out of the packing paper, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So that should make some pretty nice tags and tuck spots and pockets or whatever for our 3 Christmas journals. And I do believe I'm going to go across the back and I will gesso this. I don't mind this color of paper actually for the back of a tag, but I think for Christmas I just like to brighten it up a little bit. Now, an interesting fact, I did put some ledger paper strips in here in a couple different places. I put some music in here. Let's see, what else did I do? Some scripts in here. The paper pack that I have chosen for the journal has some wood type effects on it, so I added some of that in here. So, and here's another script. So there are some papers in here that aren't really Christmas papers. There's more ledger there, more ledger here, but with my journal, it's going to be in my journal, so it may as well be on the tags too, correct? Correct. So that's what I've done with those. We have those ready to go. And I have also chosen the papers for my signatures and the paper packs. So for the paper pack, the digital kit, I did not print them on both sides. I only printed on one side. Then I took them and I gessoed over them. And then I sprayed them with some Distress inks. I used old paper, oxide, Distress oxide, old paper. And then I mixed up my own concoction that had, I didn't want like a dark brown. So I took some of an empty jar that had just a little bit of shabby shutters, I think, in it. And I added some ink refill to my vintage photo and then some water and shook that up, and I think I even put some old paper in there too. And then that's what this color here is. On this side, it's pretty and it's going to be great. That's not the problem. It just doesn't look like old paper to me until I turn it over. And then after I turn it over, now this is what the paper looks like before I've done anything to it. I print with inkjet printer, so they are not waterproof. Now, if I would have just not gessoed this and went right to it with my spray, this would have all been even more watercolored look to it, distorted look to it than this. But the gesso protected it somewhat, but a little bit of it came through, and that is where I like the old paper look. And this is what that is that spray coming through from the back side. And I'm just really like this better than look this. I knew I was going to age it somehow. I didn't quite know. I thought probably coffee that I was going to use. But when this happened, I'm like, this is absolutely perfect. So here we have the pages for our journal with the old paper yellowed look to it. And I am really, really loving it. So I have taken these pages and I have glued on lace on all the edges, and of course all the sides are done like that. And then I inked around all of them before I added the lace with my vintage photo. All the edges have been inked around. And then my coffee stain copy papers, I also inked around. Then I did my stamping on this also with the line stamp for the journaling. The papers that were out of a book, I gessoed on top of those and I inked up around the edges. This white strip that was gifted to me, this paper, all I did was ink up around the edge of that. There's this, the Government Resettlement Administration papers. It's kind of like a copy paper. I just inked up around the edges. I have a check stub. I have some craft paper that I gessoed over top of. Previously, when I was coffee staining papers, I had coffee stained this and then did nothing else to it. And so now I have gessoed on top of that, inked around the edges, some more of our coffee papers, piece of ledger paper. I inked up around the edges of that. So these will make up the journal signatures. And I think I have 14 pages in each, so it would be 56 pages in a journal. And I think I had mentioned earlier that they were going to be 5.5 by 8 in size. So this is where we stand. This is the progress that has been made so far. When I do the pages separately, I will do a video for them, but I just wanted to get going with this and get the preliminary work done. That's kind of boring for you to sit and watch me do all the inking up and the line stamping. So it's done, and we will see you again in the video when we start working on the separate pages. Thanks for watching. You have a wonderful day. Bye now.